No clue how high it is, but I would guess this is maybe like 8,000 meters below us. So yeah, quite close indeed. Okay, oh, there we go. You can actually swap it. 6,800 meters. Quite the close encounter. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Kerbal Space Program. With me, Spacefish, and welcome back to the Kerbal Space Center then. In the last episode, we, ended things off on a rather unlucky note, as I kind of ended up panicking when it came to, getting the transversal burn over to Minmus going, and may have spammed a few buttons accidentally that I wasn't really looking to spam, resulting in dropping the main stage before it was actually burnt out, and us losing a little bit of Delta V. So, it didn't go all too well, but we are still very well on our quest over to Minmus, and, hoping to fulfill the contract that we have, which is getting in a low Minmus orbit and getting a spacewalk going. So, hopefully, we will be able to still carry on with that and get our Kerbals back safe. We will find out about that today, and please keep your fingers crossed that we won't sacrifice any of our Kerbalnauts. Before we begin, though, if you're new around here, if you do happen to enjoy this very episode, please consider subscribing right down below. We'd really appreciate that a ton. We're a small channel currently on our way to 1,000 subs, and every single person just really does a lot with these kind of things. With that out of the way, though, let us go ahead and jump right on back to Minmus Go Boom, our very beautiful, at this point, little rocket. As you may see, the main stage is missing. We do still have 2,100 meters a second left in it, though, and I am hoping that at least to some amount that will be sufficient to get us to where we want to go. Now, generally speaking, I mean, we did beef up the rocket a little bit from last time. You will remember we had that slingshot past Minmus already, and we did have some good amounts of Delta V left. So I am hoping that, generally speaking, we should be quite fine. Now, I am quite intrigued, I have to say, in all the research data we will be able to gather, as this will, to my knowledge, be our first low orbit around Minmus, so there should be a lot more scientific data in it for us. The one thing I do just quickly want to double check, though, before we actually start gathering this sort of data, was that we did actually fully upgrade our R&D factory last time. We did, so it's all fine. I was just not quite sure anymore, but that means we can now store unlimited amounts of scientific data. So, no worries in the world there that we may accidentally waste some of that precious data when we hit some sort of cap by gathering too much. So, with that said, we will just go and fast forward time a good bit. I'm not even sure. When are we supposed to reach? Okay. 2 days, 1 day. We're just kind of going to zoom towards when we have our encounter. There's Minmus, nearly in front of the sun. Kerbin all the way back there. Travelled quite a long while, I would argue. And we did slow things down a little much, I guess. Okay, there we go. So, we have our Minmus encounter, which is beautiful. I lost it. Where is it at? Anyone see Minmus? Oh, there it is. Right. The sun's just so bright, I'm absolutely unable to see it. In any case, should be fine, I hope. What we'll be doing, of course, is we will be closing in this orbit, unless... Do I need to be in space low over Minmus, or do I need to actually be in orbit? I would be worth the question. That said, I don't really know what altitude low over Minmus would be, if 77,000 is really that low already. We could be saving some fuel, you know, just in case we do have that issue. Orbit Minmus. Okay, we will go and get an orbit going. Let me go and focus on Minmus first here. We will go get that orbit going. It should, in any case, hopefully not cost us too much in terms of Delta V. Because generally speaking, Minmus gravity is of course quite low. So given that we're already coming in at quite low speed here too. I might wait. Did I? Okay. I kind of went the wrong way there for a second. I was wondering why my required speed went up when I kind of, you know, was just pulling the orbit further out. But that makes more sense. So 430 meters a second, we don't kind of just want to invert our orbit instantly. 430 meters a second are required to get the orbit going around Minmus, which will leave us with a good like 1700 meters a second. Then we can adjust the orbit a little bit, shoot ourselves back over to Kerbin, and still have a few hundred meters a second left of Delta V. So it's not going to be that much left, but generally speaking should hopefully work. So that is our maneuver then, already predefined. Let me go and just use the RCS at the start and the end of our turn phase here. You know, get a little momentum going and then use it to slow down when we get to the point, and then just somewhat nicely align ourselves with a burn marker like that, and then we'll get going close. So it's 14 seconds of a burn. We can just start literally 7 seconds ahead. What I do want to do real quick, guys, we're going to do one quick save, you know, just in case, knowing me, I go and slap that spacebar accidentally again or something. We don't need any stranded Kerbals around Minmus, right? So we may as well try and avoid that. Now, time warping a little closer. Not too quickly, but here comes Minmus. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? So space high over Minmus we already had. I wonder if we did have... No, okay, yeah, so we did have this. So basically, we will go... Get closer. I'm always a bit wary of time warping past things. Anyone who has ever played Kerbal Space Program will know how quickly that can happen, but look at this. We're so close. There's this giant ball of ice. And we'll just slow it down here and take it slowly from here, right? Look at these. Beautiful view. Down onto Minmus, I would argue. A lot closer than we came the last time already. So that is very, very nice indeed. I hope we will have some great, great views today. I am in fact wondering if we are now already in space low over Minmus or not. But we will check that using a crew report when we have actually closed in our orbit. Let's do that bit first. And then we can worry about the rest, alright? Not managing to quite hold it on the burn marker, that's a bit annoying. But we almost have it done. And we'll just slowly but surely reel in those last few meters a second. Wow. 0.0. That is spot on using the main engines. I'm quite proud of that one. Absolutely beautiful. So, let's go. First and foremost, remove the maneuver node. Because we've done it. We're done. And, well, we've got a nice and even orbit for the time being. So now is the time, I guess, to go ahead and check out using a little crew report if we're close enough. And we're not. So... we'll just be going a little closer, I guess. We've got the apoapsis coming up here soon. And, in fact, I would kind of like to do it at the periapsis, guys. Alright, we'll do it here. There's the one specific reason. I want you guys to be able to see Minmus a little better. So, I want the lower point of the orbit to be on the bright side of Minmus. And you know what? I would love to see Minmus a little closer as well. You know, see what texture changes there may have been since I last was here and whatever. So, we'll just do that. That looks quite cool, doesn't it? I mean, we can pull it in quite closely. The question is, how death-defyingly close do we want to get? I would say that like around 10,000 meters is low enough. You can see, you know, there's still sufficient space, but that's already, I can assure you, going to be quite the near-death experience. So, really feeling quite adventurous today, I suppose. But we'll just align for the burn marker. Like that, and then let's go get ourselves around Minmus. While we do so, can have a look on this beautiful ice giant Look at all these millions of reflections in the ice. I am liking that. I do feel that they did update the textures on Minmus a good bit as well. The looks feel quite a bit revised, so really liking that. Wondering very much as well how it is going to be for us when we do get closer, so let's see about that. Now what is confusing me is that the burn marker is moving at a slower pace than the spaceship, so seemingly. That is a bit weird, but in any case, we'll go adjust that in a second. We'll just let it down, tick down to like 5 minutes or something, and then we'll do a quick little adjustment before heading on with anything at all. Very nicely in the dark, of course. We could technically turn on the lights so you guys can see a little better where we're at, but I also feel like we don't. Wow, we do have a lot of electric charge. If I turn on the lights, how much more is it going to use? Oh, it's not like you see it any better, is it? Does that help you guys? I don't think so. If you want me to do it the next time, let me know, but I feel like that may just be a bit of a waste at that point. So, in any case, let us go and get close to that node. I mean, it's a burn time of 0.7 seconds, right? It's just a little puff of the engine, and that's basically it. We'll just do it nice and slow again, but we'll go and get ourselves closer to the burn node, or well, to the maneuver node, rather, and then once we're close enough, we'll just kind of... you can see just how little thrust now we need for, like, getting our orbit 60,000 meters lower. So, yeah. That's the low speed that we have here, the low gravity of Minmus. I mean, we're moving at an orbital speed now of... apologies. Moving at an orbital speed now of, like, 94 meters a second, so... It's basically nothing, right? But there we go. 1674 meters a second of delta V still remaining, so sounds quite decent for the time being. Fingers crossed that that'll be enough. And our periapsis is now at 9,200 meters. So, well, in we go for the death-defying experience that is a low pass over Minmus, including hopping out of the capsule just 9 kilometers above ground. I think that is going to be quite fun. So, round and around we go. First and foremost, that will take us a quick second. You can see that we're already coming in a considerable bit closer than we've previously been. A little bit of lag, I guess, as the textures start loading in. And Jesus Christ, that already looks quite bad, not gonna lie. This is gonna be interesting. Are we still... We may want to take the crew report now, because I'm kind of a bit worried that we get even closer and it'll swap from, like, space near Minmus to, like, something else. I don't think there's an in-between, but still. We'll start taking crew reports, and then you guys will just see as we slowly but surely start zooming across the surface. We're not going to be all too fast, as I said. You know, the orbital speed that we have here is not all too high, so I don't think we need to be, well, we're going to be particularly scared about the speed, but the proximity, I would say, is quite impressive in its own right. So... there we go. It's Minmus for you, everyone. Giant block of ice. Now, we will go ahead, get the crew report going first and foremost. We will go and get all the reports from these going. Oh, in fact, what I do want to check out with you guys is, of course, what is standing in the crew report. The lake beds seem relatively flat. Perhaps we could land there. Yes, indeed. So those are quite good landing spots. We will go do the goo. Not the goo, the Science Junior. High radiation environment cause a few of the samples to glow. Looks like it would be fun to paint the rocket with this. Alright, nothing new there. No new text, no new nothing. We will continue with the barometer. Well, 0. As if it were in a vacuum. Nothing special there. Nothing special about the temperature. It's nothing special about the goo either, I suppose. Yeah. Goo feels right at home. That's all the external experiments now done. So, what that means now is it's time for Bob to go on a little adventure. Just let go. So close. So close to Minmus. And we're just like floating around. Having fun. I kinda would like a screenshot of that, to be honest. You know, reminder to future self. Make a screenshot of that. That's quite cool, isn't it, guys? He's so excited, I love it. Just slowly drifting away from the thingy as well. We'll lower his visor, just, you know, making sure that his eyes don't burn out from the sunlight or something. You know, you're just like basically staring like 45-degree angle into it. No atmospheric protection, no nothing. That sounds quite bad. In any case, let's go do his EVA report first things first. Nothing special on that, it seems. We're going to place that in our little pod up here. And we'll just go and start collecting data. And storing the data in here. Could have, to be honest, just kept the crew reports in there. But nah, at the end of the day. Whatever. We may come across more interesting observations. Collect this data. Restore the Science Junior. Just in case we ever need it again, which probably is not going to be the case. Store the experiments. And then we keep going. Just got to get all of this out of here, because this is going to be dropped. Like, this is part of the stage. It's going to be dropped before we go and re-enter the Kerbal atmosphere. So, we always need to take those experiments with us in this little pod that we have up here, basically. That's what that's for. So, we'll just go and transfer all these bits. Boop. And then we still have the mystery goo, which also needs to be reset after taking the data. Restore. It's operational again. Absolutely beautiful. And we will go install those experiments right there. Cool. That's everything. And that should be the contract also complete. Orbital spacewalk near Minmus is, I would argue, very much complete. Very near Minmus. And very, very much spacewalking currently. I do kind of probably want to watch out for EVA propellant. We're quite good on that still. But you can see just how close we are, right? We're still closing in. But this is now pretty much our point of closest approach. 10,000 something meters. We're going down to 9,200 before we go and head away from the surface of Minmus again. So, I mean, Jesus Christ. Feels you like, you know, the Kerbal could almost start licking it. So, jeez. Quite the close encounter indeed. I hope you guys are liking those close perspectives of Minmus. I really have to say I love it. Looks quite cool. In my opinion. Now, with that said, we have everything complete. The only thing that we're still missing is returning to Kerbin from orbit. So we will have to go and take care of that now. And the question is where, when, what, how? I am wondering if I could just, like, sort of get a maneuver going. No? I did not want to target the moon. I am kind of just wondering if I can somewhat around here just get a maneuver going to shoot us over. Wait. Wait. What is happening? Are the Kerbals just having fun while I'm in map view, or did you guys just see that? I was not pressing a button, I swear. They were just going round and round full speed. I am so confused. Kerbal's just like, I don't know, enjoying life or something here. Jesus Christ. Okay, no, this is absolutely shooting us off in the wrong direction. Well, in fact, you know, technically we could make something like that work. I think that could work. It doesn't use too much fuel either. Well, does it? Now we're at 2.5 million meters and it's still... Well, no, it feels kind of right. Is it? No. Not burning entirely the right direction here. That looks better. I mean, we do have a significant bit of fuel remaining, so I guess we can make these sort of weird burns. We could, of course, you know, also just align our orbit first, do it the slow way, probably also the better and more efficient and safer way, but hey, you know, we have a bunch of fuel, we may as well use it. And this is the orbit that would bring us home. In fact, we could probably save more fuel like that. And then just do... Ooh. Oh, I don't want a direct encounter with Kerbin. Thank you very much. We do need to break in the atmosphere first. Don't just want to plummet face first into the planet. That could go wrong. Even with these, you know, atmospheric heat models that we have in Kerbal Space Program. Okay, I would say that that is quite sufficient of a burn. So we'll be going for that. Let's go ahead and align it. Oh my god, look at that! You can see like little rocks and stuff or whatever that is. I mean, maybe little chunks of ice just flying around on the planet's surface. We are getting really close now. When even these things are already being rendered in, you know? God. We are, though, as you can see, kind of just, rising against, you know, rising in orbit again. But this is less than 9,600 meters below us, of course, because, you know, it's a significant bit of a mountain. So that's why we can see things that well, I guess. No clue how high it is, but I would guess this is maybe like 7,000-8,000 meters below us. So yeah, quite close indeed. Okay, oh, there we go. You can actually swap it. 6,800 meters. Quite the close encounter. I did not know that you can actually swap this indicator. I just saw the waves and I was like, oh, nice. So well, you know, good to know. In case you guys ever needed to know just how high you were above ground, this is where you can swap it. Never stop learning. In any case, let us go. Circle beautiful Minmus once more before we go ahead and go for our burn home. So, all the way around we go. Everyone just nice and content. Jeb, you know, being unhappy that he wasn't able to go for a spacewalk as well. Someday, Jeb. Someday. We're drifting off the marker again. I find this a bit weird. But in any case, maybe that's just the Kerbals having fun with the controls again while I'm not able to watch them properly. You never know. We'll go and realign here real quick before the burn. Cool. And just getting a little bit closer to the burn marker because we don't want to wait for 2 minutes till we go get burning. And there we go. That's fine. So, 2.5 seconds basically on either side of the maneuver node. So we'll just start at 3, I guess. And we'll push it over. I'm still not able to properly align. I hate that. It's always bouncing back with the SAS. Notice just in time that I had to press the button there. Oh! We did overshoot that a little bit. What does that mean for our actual periapsis? 20,000 meters. I don't like that. Probably do want to readjust that just a little bit. Because 20,000 meters seems like it could be a little steep of an entrance into the atmosphere. Well, you do have to see that we do also have 1,500 meters a second left to slow down. So, in fact, it's not going to be that terrible. But no need to risk things here. No need to risk those things. So, maneuver node, be gone. We do have the periapsis and 47,000 meters, which is quite solid now, I would argue. And with that said, it is time, well, time to close in a little more to Minmus. I was getting worried there for a second that we may smash into it or something due to a weird burn. But we are closing in a tad bit more to Minmus once more before now drifting off into space. And saying farewell once more to this ice giant. Till the next time, till we finally, hopefully, are able to land on and explore Minmus. Really looking forward to that. But in the meanwhile, it is going to be time for our Kerbalnauts to travel home. And it is going to be time to land at Kerbin. But that is something that I would say is only going to happen in the next episode. For today, we're ending this one off right here with this beautiful last view of Minmus. I hope you all enjoyed it. Of course, if you did, please make sure to go ahead and smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. With all those things out of the way though, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.